about Providence Water, and we'll start with you, Mayor Loiza. You heard tonight Senator Metz and the folks, Jonathan Hernandez, and then certainly on the House side, some real hesitance to the idea of selling or leasing and monetizing the Providence water supply. If you're fortunate enough to be reelected, how are you going to change the bill so that it gets done at the State House?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this because this really is one of the most important issues for the city. It's going to be tough, but I'll do my best.
I know.
It's really about the city's finances. We were on the brink of bankruptcy 7 years ago, and no one knows exactly when, but unless we do something about our pensions, maybe 10, 12, 15 years, we're going to run out of money once again. It is an existential threat that we have to address now. The longer we wait, the more difficult it's going to be. Now, many people have said, no, let's not do water. Let's increase retirement ages. Let's do things with current. I mean, that doesn't work. You know, we've had a consulting firm come in. They produced a 160-page report. They looked at the issue up, down, sideways, from every angle. And we can't nibble at the edges. 92% of our pension payments are to pay for the sins of the past. These are people who are already retired. And so negotiating with our current employees just isn't going to cut it. The only major asset that we have is water. And the reason why water makes sense to me, and that I need to do, we need to do a better job of explaining it, is we sell water retail and wholesale. We sell water retail directly to customers and wholesale. Let's say we sell to Johnston. We are prevented from charging a market rate, but there's nothing preventing Johnston from marking that water up, charging that market rate, and that additional profit goes into their own system. So my point is, if anyone is going to make money off of it, it should be us. We backstop all of the debt, we take on all of the risks, but see none of the benefit. And what I've committed to doing is, if we are able to monetize it, many other cities have done this. This is nothing novel. If we're able to do it, we can put that whole amount into the pension fund. I'll use that to bring the retirees to the table and ask them to make concessions. Now, we could have the best infrastructure in the country. We could do all-day free preschool 4 times over with that money. There's so much that we could do. We could have the best school buildings in the entire country. This is all of the money that's going down the tubes to pay for the sins of the past when we gave away more than we can afford. We have a once-and-for-all solution. And the last thing that I'll say, Jen, if I could just have this moment, for anyone who says, no, we should not do water, I challenge you, but then you have to produce a solution, because doing nothing is not an option. If we do nothing, the city of Providence is going to die a slow and painful death.
Mr. Rubio, doing nothing is not an option, says the mayor. What do you say about Providence Water? Or if not, what are the options?
The options in my playbook are to look at all of those issues that are bringing increased finances into the city. For example, the speed cameras did an unanticipated $1.9 million after they stopped when they got to 36,000 tickets. You had put in the budget, I believe, $600,000 as a reimbursement or as a revenue from the speed cameras. So that I saw as a good savings or good extra amount of cash that came into the city unanticipated. I would take all of those small anticipated areas that we are deriving an income from and put it aside so that we can begin to pay down some of the debt with the pension liability. The other area that I would propose is that the birds that have just been dropped on our sidewalk, it seems that no one knows what a contract is, what the city is getting from those. I'm sure the city must be getting some revenue from that has been unanticipated in your budget cycle. To take those dollars and to set that aside and use that as a pay down also. They're all small issues.
Just specifically on water, though, do you support the monetization of Providence Water?
I do not support the sale or the leasing of the water supply.
Kobe, give me about a minute. What do you think? Providence Water?
My time's getting shorter and shorter, man.
I'll make it up to you.
It's all right. Save our water for sure. I do not support the monetizing of Providence Water. As the mayor said, and we don't agree on much these days, but he said it was our most important asset. Who in this room knows anything about business would sell their most important asset? Okay? So we are not going to sell Providence Water Supply, and first of all, it doesn't just belong to us, as was said before. All right, the ratepayers have a lot to do with the company. I think we need to definitely bring them to the table. That hasn't been happening. Okay, there shouldn't be a decision solely for the city of Providence, and that's why I'm glad it's going to the legislature. In addition, my solution would be anchor institutions. We have some of the best anchor institutions in our city, the colleges, the hospitals, all of these nonprofits. Everyone needs to do their share. That's what the city of Providence is lacking. Everyone is not doing their fair share to help, okay? But everyone gets city services. So what's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. We need to bring it back. The last 2 or 3 administrations have been kicking the can, saying that what they're going to do, rewind and go look at all of their debates in the beginning, and I guarantee you, you'll see the same thing over and over. We cannot have that. We need change. We need to go back to the table, okay? And we need viable resources in our city, so we definitely do not want to sell our Providence Water.